Diddy will be sentenced soon, and now you got all the couple supporters. Well, there's a lot of supporters, but at least his public supporters coming back now. His famous friends writing character letters and all of these things that maybe may help him when it's time for sentencing. And the one that I'm going to focus on tonight is the one from Young Miami. Let me pull this up better so I could really see it, because I'm going to read it. Stro does the reading. Let me pull this up on this screen. Boom. Here we go. Young Miami's letter to the judge says, "Dear Your Honor, my name is Carisha Brown." Brown? My name is Carisha. I'm a mother, daughter, sister, and a hip-hop artist who has spent many years in the public eye. Oh, man, I can't try and get too fancy on my voice. Many years in the public eye. I want to be clear that I cannot speak on or defend anything that may have happened before I met Sean Combs. Now, first off, if you write in my character letter, I don't want you this whole first paragraph, I don't want that there. You could skip all of that and get to why I need to be out. Speak to the good part of me. Don't speak to anything else that you don't condone or time that you wasn't for there. And I might want somebody to even look over this letter before the shit gets submitted. Don't put that in my character witness letter if I'm ever on trial facing life. But cool. I do not condone any wrongdoing. I can only speak from my personal experience and the man I've come to know over the past 4 years. For 3 of those years, I was in a public relationship with Sean. Were you? Because there was mad time where they were saying they weren't together. Then they were together. Whatever. I'm keep reading. And during that time, I witnessed, oh, yeah, that's why they saying this look like some chat GPT shit. I hope this ain't something that she just straight put together herself and sent in without someone looking at it. The first way that you could tell that something be chat GPT is when you get those little dashes in between, like people don't typically write, and even if it's a lawyer writing something, they may use like semicolons or something else. Yeah, okay. All right, another point. If you going to be writing me a character witness letter, anybody ever at any point in time, don't have ChatGPT do it. And if you do, take all the stuff that makes that obviously written by ChatGPT out. That's just like, you want me under the jail? Cool. Let's keep going. Take a little sip here so I can put on my best Carisha voice. Where was I? Oh, I was in a public relationship with Sean, and during that time, I witnessed and came to know a different person than the one often portrayed. Behind the scenes, he was loving, genuine, supportive, and always had encouraging. Wait, that's not. Whatever. Let me just read that one more time and make sure I'm not reading it wrong, because that sentence isn't right. And even better, we just going to pick this apart as we go through. If you write in my character letter, make sure that the shit is grammatically correct. Now, I was a videography major, started as a music major. Wasn't an English major, but I could tell when a sentence not wrote right. Behind the scenes, he was loving, genuine, supportive. Oh, okay, and always encouraging. Okay, that was me. I'm a little stupid. He motivated me, believed in me, and helped me grow both personally and professionally. I'm writing this letter because I believe it's important for the court to know the side of Sean that isn't always seen or spoken about. The man who poured into others, who gave opportunities, who led by example, and who loved deeply. He helped shape me both professionally and personally. You said that. He believed in me. You said that too. Pushed me to grow and taught me how to be a better businesswoman. He helped me find balance between chasing my dreams and being present for my family, because that's what he did. No matter how busy he was, he never missed holidays or special moments with his family. That's true, because you would see, you would see the pictures with him and his family, and then you see the pictures with him and the escorts, or the escorts posting their videos. So, he made sure that he always had everybody around at the same damn time. That's true. That's true, Young Miami. That's true. One of the most meaningful memories. Oh, now we get into the good stuff. Or not. One of the most meaningful memories was when he took me to my first Met Gala. It wasn't just about the event. It was about what it represented. What does the Met Gala represent? Because ain't nobody ever seen a side, so that could be all damn orgy cluster in there. Don't nobody know, but cool. What it represented. Sean has always made it a priority to open doors for black people, to make sure we are seen, heard, and valued in spaces where we're historically being excluded. Did I say might? Oh, that night. That night reminded me that we belong in every room, at every table, and in every conversation. He constantly encouraged me, and so many others, to dream bigger, walk in confidence, and never shrink who we are, to make others comfortable. He also gave me a voice. Don't you rap? Didn't you have a voice before that? He gave you a voice because he gave you a show that you don't do? Oh, whatever. He also gave me a voice by providing me... Oh, yep. There we go. By providing me a platform on his network to speak for the culture and connect with people in a way that was real and authentic. That opportunity changed the direction of my career. It showed me the impact one person can have when they choose to uplift others. And the rest cuts off. But beyond all of that, I seen him give back to his community over and over again. In 2022, we fed the homeless together on Thanksgiving. But that was just one example. And then it cuts, so we don't get to see the rest of the examples. All right, I'm going to start with benefit of the doubt and say that maybe this letter is 6 or 7 pages longer. And the great part that talks about his character and everything, we don't see. But from what we do see, this character letter ain't helping shit. All you said was he was a great dude that took me to the Met Gala, spent some money on me, and I went with him on Thanksgiving to give out turkeys. What the hell does that say about his character? But, like I said, benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's more at the bottom. Nonetheless, that was Young Miami's relationship with Puff. And rather new relationship. The last relationship, if you will, before they sent him off to the clanker. But let's really get to it. The sentencing is coming up soon, and we will find out the fate of Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. And to be honest, what he was on trial for, I don't think they proved enough for him to go to jail, maybe. But two things can be true at the same time. We've also heard stories for damn near 30 years about the horrible and horrendous things that he has done for two people. Because although he was not on trial for what he did to Cassie, it was something that was played during the trial and played out for the entire public to see on that video. And that video was horrendous and horrific. No matter how they try and flip it of she went through his phone and he was just trying to get the phone back. That was our first time really seeing the horrible side of Diddy that we have heard about for damn near 30 years. And I don't think that should go it hasn't gone unspoken about, but it should be highlighted to some effect. with that being said, I am a black man. I'm a Christian. I'm a father. I'm a son. And I believe that people should be able to ask for forgiveness. And I believe that people at different times and different points that people are capable of changing. But I also believe that sometimes, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you have to reap what you sown. And even if you believe that this whole thing really happened because his lawsuit with Diageo and he tried to get too big for his britches, it don't matter. Eventually, it came out and he's sitting in jail. So do I think that, and even before that, to speak further to the point of the possibility of people changing. Because one of the things that we didn't hear about much in the trial was recent things, which kind of the things that Young Miami's speaking about. We didn't hear much after 2016, 2017 of these horrific things he done of trying to burn people's cars down or stalking people and death threats and all of that. It was past stuff. And we've heard a lot about in the past just how he is this shrewd person and won't let people out of contracts and the way that he does business. But what I thought was very interesting last year was Jazzy. Jazzy went on the Joe Budden podcast and she spoke about it. She was honest and transparent, and which I have to commend to her because she could have just completely skipped the topic as a whole because I'm sure there were some people that maybe kind of looked at her away for what she said. And what she said was kind of similar to what Young Miami said of, I never saw that side of Puff. From the time that I was around him, it was good vibes. I came into his life during the love era when everything was love and peace, and he's trying to make this new vibe of things. And she said, because she didn't have to say anything about it at all, and she's not in a deal with him no more, so really had no reason to lie. She said, I never saw those things. But she also said that when things occurred and her mom told her, like, you got to get out that deal, right? She was like, damn, man, I know. She went to him in person and they sat down in Miami and she told him, man, I gotta get out of this deal. And he said, damn, you really gonna leave me during this time of need and in this time and everything, and you really just gonna leave me? And she was like, if it was you and this was happening to me, you would drop me. He said, you know what, you right. And he let her out the contract. I say this because at the time she was basically his only act, and she was his big act that was being pushed. Jazzy's pen and everything that she do is crazy. Her music, her voice is just completely phenomenal. Super promising career. And he could have pulled a old Puff that we've always heard about with Mace and Craig Mack and everybody and said, nah, man, you in this contract, it's death row for life. And he didn't. He let her out the deal. And that's something that historically we have not really seen from Puff. She says she saw a change. I say that to speak towards the side of the fact that there is possibility that you can be this horrible person for 10, 20, 30 years, and at some point you change. Does it completely excuse all those horrible things? Fuck no. Fuck no. It don't. But like I say again, as a father and a Christian and a black man, people need to have the room to grow and become something different, even if it takes way longer than it should have. And for him, it clearly took way longer than it should have, because a lot of things that I thought was going to get brought up that I'm not going to mention on the stream because they ain't get mentioned in the trial did not get brought up. That's why I really thought that they booked and tagged his ass, that we was going to hear about some other interesting things and some kind of fairy stories that we've all kind of heard throughout the years. But we didn't. So I think there's a possibility that over this time span, he changed and maybe became a different person. But I also think that sometimes you got to pay those consequences for the things that you've done. At the same time, from the law, from the standpoint of the law, do I think that he should go to jail for what he was on trial for? From the case that they proved? No. They proved that he is a wild, freaky boy and is some wild, freaky shit. And I don't think you should go to jail for what you like to do in your bedroom. Now, was buying escorts illegal? Yeah, but smoking weed was illegal for a long time, and Wiz was rapping about it. I say Wiz and not Snoop for a reason. So shit be illegal, but people still do it. So I don't want that to be the focus point. But we do still have a world where, all right, maybe we pegged you for the wrong thing. We built a bad case, just like maybe they might have built with YNW Melly. How I believe he got off kind of, but they still kept him in there because they built a bad case. And the law, the benefit of the law, is they can pull the loopholes. So they very well could pull a OJ where they're like, damn, yo, we built a bad case and we know that, but we really wanted you and we wanted you for something else, so we gonna keep you. So I think there's a world where he still goes to jail. Now, if he was on trial for the horrendous things that he did of stalking people and blowing up people's cars and everything he did to Cassie and all those other women, should he go to jail? Fuck yeah. Without a question. Without a question. But it's America. That's not what he was on trial for. So do I think that he will get sentenced to more time in prison? No. It's going to come out the time served. And, you know, I know there's all those people that are like, oh, how could his kids feel this way and still support him and want him out? And those are clearly people that ain't never had a single parent in their life, because we done all, as adults, seen, felt, heard, still going through whatever, some decisions from our parents that we did not agree with. And maybe for some people, they don't even speak to their parents. They love them from a distance, but they still love them and they still want the best for him. So I don't think people should not want his kids to not want their dad home. That's just not real. That's not a reality. But we will have to see. From the case that was proved, I do not think he will do time. Is there a possibility that they may say, yo, we going to run it back? I don't think so, because they done spent and wasted a lot of money, so the government definitely not coming back in for a RICO. Cassie definitely not coming back after she got her bag paid out. This might just be it, man. Y'all got him on the time served. Y'all sent whatever message y'all needed to send to him, and that's it. So we will see. I'm going to have to look up when the sentencing is, and things will probably heat up around then and get spicy. But until then, hell if I know. I ain't on trial. I ain't in jail. Knock on. This that good wood, too. Ooh, you hear that? That's that good wood. Knock on wood for your boy. I ain't do nothing crazy, though.